Hello, folks. This is CW, owner of Rockstar Pro Wrestling here in Dayton, Ohio. Kind of laid up now with a broken leg, more of an ankle, let's say. And you know what? Better time with now I have all this free time to launch a Rockstar Pro podcast network. So hoping to bring a couple shows to you each week. Wide variety of shows if possible. Like I said, I am owner of Rockstar Pro Wrestling. Suffered a broken ankle during a wrestling match, so have extra time now. And joining me tonight is Gary. He actually assisted me going to the hospital when I had that broken leg.
Quite the night that was. People call me Scary Gary. My friends call me SG1. That's very cool
street name
that I gave myself. Yeah. But we're going to have, this podcast thing has been really cool. We're going to have quite the variety of topics. My show in particular is going to be with someone who, we have quite the bang-up start with this podcast network. Both our tag team partners decided to no-show tonight.
Yeah.
We love you both. We love you both.
We understand things happen. It was just funny that your guy called and then my guy was simultaneously sending me a text that he could not be here.
So tonight is a makeshift tag team.
They
kind of, off the fly.
Booker throwing us just together.
Right.
The guys in the corner, they feel bad about
Hey, did you guys bring your gear?
Yeah, you got gear.
Get out there. So music's playing. Get out there.
Like I said, I'm bored sitting at home with this broken ankle that I cannot do anything with. I figured I'd give you a little bit insight of what happened to me just to fill some time here of when I suffered the injury. It was during a match. Being a dumbass, was being a smartass, imitating a WWE wrestler that I just really doesn't do much for me, but I was picking something up on my shoulders and stomping around like a dinosaur, basically. And third circle around, because, first wasn't cool enough, so I had to do 3 stomping circles, and on the second one, yes, it just gave out, and I let the guy down the ground and went over, and my ankle was just in a wrong direction.
3 is an ominous number, so you never do something 3 times.
Yeah.
Following numerology, twice, you're kind of tempting fate with a third.
Or trying to be a smartass by ripping off a wrestler you don't really like is probably not a great ideal either. The karma gods definitely taught me a lesson. But, so anyway, I rolled to the side with this broken ankle during the match because it's not over yet. It's a 6-man. One guy who comes over and gives me a couple kicks, and I am like, my ankle is broke. He apologizes and
tell him, help! Quit kicking me, please!
Yeah,
please,
sir. My ankle's detached. Would you please stop kicking me? And so
say as nicely as you can.
Yeah, and so I decided, holy hell. A limb is detached. I'm crawling my ass backstage, so I crawl backstage and slide down the entrance
watching
ramp.
on the monitor at that time, you tried to lift your ankle and it dropped to the ground. Like you could not even lift it. And I was fearful that when you came back and your boot had to come off, there would be a bone sticking out.
That was my main concern: was am I going to bleed to death in a wrestling ring? And
not that I wasn't concerned about you. I was afraid I would faint when I saw a bone sticking out.
Well, one of the best things I hear is everybody says, "We thought your kick pad just fell off your shoe and went sideways," and I was like, "No, that was my actual foot." So I get rushed to the hospital. Thankfully, we go to a downtown hospital, which luckily when I had to stay overnight, I got the new wing, which was great. No complaints.
Right. It was pretty nice.
Entering the hospital is when pain was at 11. This is when it really started kicking in, and I get wheeled to the counter. They drop me off. Then they find the need to take Scary Gary back to security and give him the full "you're getting on the airline" body search.
It was pretty comical in the beginning because I had all my makeup and my full gimmick on, I guess you'd say, and of course I want to get C-Dub to the emergency room as fast as possible. And they asked me to go back through once I wheeled him in to go for a full body cavity search.
Oh, I'm looking back in pain, and your hands are up, and you're getting wanded. And
it was more important for me to go back through the metal detector to make sure I didn't carry a gun into the emergency room.
Every terrorist first plot is a break guy's ankle. We'll drag him in,
the old,
and while you're at the counter, this is when we take over.
Right. You know, you get the sympathy by wheeling someone in. They're not ready for it. You know?
Yeah.
Then you unload on them.
So they took me to the back immediately, which was awesome. Then I was in massive pain at that point. It hooked me up to a morphine drip. It was still not good. And they're like, well, stitch your foot. You'll be much better. So they put me in Twilight to set this foot. And Twilight puts me out and also makes me turn into like a stand-up comedian at this point.
It was pretty funny before. We were asked to leave the room, but we could still hear you cracking some jokes. And,
I was gonna like Fonzie, like thumbs up. Like the doctors were like, "What the hell's wrong with this guy?" And I'm just like, "It's just the drugs." That's all I can say.
It's the morphine talking.
Yeah. So, but yeah, then I end up staying overnight, having surgery the next day, and staying an additional day and a half, and got to come home.
You did want to go home that night, to your credit, but
yes,
you were convinced you should probably stay.
Which is the most amazing part about our medical payment system here in America. I have rather decent insurance and no complaints about what they're paying or anything. I've been satisfied so far. But one of the things they're arguing about is that it was not a necessity to stay in a hospital that night to have my foot reattached to my body. And Gary, you were there as a witness, and
the foot was turned to an angle where it's very unnatural.
And I'm begging to go home. Would you please just set the damn thing, give me some drugs, and let me go home?
Yeah. To your credit, you did not want to stay in the hospital overnight.
No.
They strongly suggested you should.
There was a
really didn't want
small Asian nurse who was going to do everything she could to keep me down in that bed and staying overnight. So when I get home, bills are paid, blah, blah, blah. But one of the things they're arguing about is it was not a necessity to stay overnight in the hospital. How is it not a necessity when I'm being threatened by the hospital staff? That they will,
it was made clear to you it wasn't really an option to go home.
No. So...
I know I'm not a doctor.
USA. That's my only complaint about the medical thing. Other than that, but so I'm home bored as shit. You can only play like so much Nintendo and.
You got a Nintendo?
No, actually, an Xbox. I'm sorry. I'm that old that everything is Nintendo.
We actually have that at the arena. Nintendo at the Rockstar arena for entertainment purposes. Saw dodgeball back there.
Some dodgeball.
Genghis Khan. That was a really good game.
Yeah, some good shit.
I used to play that. Point is, C-Dub has a lot of free time, and we're launching this podcast network.
So
Rockstar Nation.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll have more people join us here soon. But we'll give you a little teaser of what both shows are going to be like. Gary, you're going to Real Alien Talk.
My show with my partner who could not make it tonight.
Yeah, he's having flooding problems in his apartment.
I love him to death. I love him. But he's crazy. His apartment flooded, some weird occurrence. And our show is going to be all about weird occurrences. It's going to be Real Alien Talk. And what that name means, no bullshit. No fake alien talk.
But wait,
none of that shit.
When you mean bullshit, what in your opinion is a bullshit alien story? Show us where the line is.
All right, the bullshit alien story is they came to my room, they told me I was the chosen one, give me all your money, I lead a UFO cult.
Oh, it's a cult.
Yeah, we'll draw the line. If you use your story, your experience, I'm as open-minded as anyone, but if you use your experience to profit, that's where my bullshit detector goes off.
That's where it goes off.
But really, Alien Talk, it's really a name for a catch-all name for paranormal stories, a bit of everything really.
So you say Alien Talk, but will there be like ghosts and Bigfoot?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. Alien just kind of covers. That's been my main focus.
Paranormal's kind of a laughable name right now.
It absolutely is. Let me tell you. We'll stay away from the paranormal.
We'll go with Real Alien Talk.
Yeah, we'll definitely go with that. So no bullshit, no chaser, real fucking alien.
So in the paranormal, oh shit, I said that word. Goddamn. So I'm breaking my own rule. But let's say in the weirdness order, where will you go? Are you alien, Bigfoot, ghost? Are you like top is Bigfoot? Mothman, dinosaur. Like, what's your top three? Like,
this podcast came to life. An idea. We've actually had this brewing since like 2002.
Oh yeah, you guys have been talking about it forever.
Yeah, this has been in the works.
It took me breaking my ankle to get this shit done.
We'll finally have some downtime to make this happen. But long car rides to shows out in the middle of nowhere, fucking Aberdeen, and all these way out there places. Had a lot of time to talk. And we just let the conversation go wherever it goes, Between Ben and I, we have a lot of varied interest. He has a lot of interesting stories, including, I want to hear about where he almost found the Holy Grail on tour. This is what he told me the other night. And I'm dying to get the story. I told him to hold off because I want to get on the podcast. But he said he was a door away from opening to find the Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail.
Mm-hmm.
Was the door marked Holy Grail?
I'm dying to hear this. So one way or another, he knew the Holy Grail was inside.
But he doesn't have it, so apparently he didn't find it.
Apparently he backed out, man.
Or did he? I mean, we really don't know.
Or it could be like Indiana Jones, where he chose the wrong Holy Grail. Like you think it's the jeweled, the nice-looking one. Maybe it was the shitty-looking one. Who knows?
The Bear Mug Stein was right. The correct one.
But between the two of us, I mean, we have some varied interest in kind of tossing this idea out to some other people we know at the Rockstar Arena. Some people we're going to have on here very shortly. We Dave Christ and Dustin Reyes. Those are the first two that come to mind. And we're not really going to have a set topic. We're going to let the guests just take it wherever.
Oh, yeah. That's the best way.
Between the two of those, they definitely have some very varied eclectic interest.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get deep into it, deep underground. And we had an idea for who would be our first guest. It doesn't matter now because Ben couldn't show.
No, he didn't make it.
Yeah, she didn't want to. I won't say who it was, but she has bright red hair. But she didn't think she had an alien story.
Well, you can't if you don't have a story. That might be bullshit. Then you gotta invent that you saw Sasquatch on Loch Ness or something. But that's cool. That's cool. So, also, besides Real Alien Talk, my partner, Gigi, and I will be having a show called Punks and Pinfalls, which will be indie music and indie wrestling. A lot more of the Rockstar Pro Arena, where Rockstar Pro Wrestling happens, is a 400-capacity concert venue also, so we have the opportunity for a lot of indie bands coming through to talk with people and get insight with them, and also I have 20-some years of experience of being on the road with bands, from actually going out with bands to being I call myself a pencil pusher of the rock world. When guys need tours set up, or guys to need a tour handlers to say, like the guy who, hey, we love our singer, but for the love of God, watch him 24 hours a day. I've done that.
We have this friend that's just crazy. We love him to death, but keep an eye on him.
Keep an eye on him.
Not addressing anymore. We love you.
But yes, so through the years, I have quite a list of stories and friends also in the music industry, and same thing, Gigi, that we can bring you little stories, and at times bring in guests locally, and also touring acts and stuff. And also through the show, I think it's important not just to have interviews with music guests like musicians or band members, but also people who book at clubs, who are managers, who are agents, because that's the backbone of this whole industry. And I think people don't realize, hell, there's one guy that can control 30 bands, and 10 of those are your dream bands, and those are really the people who, I think, have interesting stories and to pick their brain. Same thing with insights. I like, with insights to indie wrestling, I like promoters and people who have been in the industry over certain territories. I like to pick their brains, especially older wrestlers.
Yeah, absolutely.
To see what, how things ran differently. I'm a big historical freak. I love history, so, and I think the inner runnings of the machine of indie wrestling and indie music have tie-ins in not really seen or heard by from people,
right?
You know,
absolutely. So between the four of us, like I find that very interesting too. Like we've promoted our whole lives, like one thing or another. You know, between the four of us doing these 2 podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were like, when I started doing wrestling shows, and same thing, Gary started doing wrestling shows. People were like, "Oh wow, you guys are really, you know the production, you know how to time." It's like, no shit, we've been dealing with bands since we were fetuses, and like wrestling and music are very close. You travel the road. You have to have your venues. You have to have promoters. You have to have proper promotion. I mean, it's shadows of each other.
Right.
I mean,
so everything we do nowadays has its roots in the music promotion.
Wrestling, you only have to have like at least 4 guys in the car, not 8 guys in the car. That's a big difference.
What always appealed to me about wrestling, I mean, mainly was like what it took to get people to a venue. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just like what went behind the scenes. Watching something like WrestleMania 3 and seeing like the huge crowd. I was like, as a kid, I was like, man, what went into the promotion of this? Mm-hmm. You start thinking about television, stuff like that. That's always like been like an interest of mine. What goes into wrestling? Just promotion in general. Yeah. What does it take to make people come out?
Especially when you're talking huge arena events. Yeah. Like, I pull my hair out trying to fill a 400 capacity place and keep track of everybody. Like, it's seriously like herding cats. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of people help me out now, and it's great. I think that's one thing to make Rockstar great is the workload is spread out. There's a lot of people who take care of things, and a lot of people who do it professionally. You just don't have some idiot like, they'll do that, and then you're like, holy shit, who let this guy do this?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so I think it's one of the things that makes Rockstar work. And I love to learn the insight of other like big promotions. Like I said, filling 400 capacity place, I can't even imagine trying to do like Caesar's Palace and bring in elephants and shit.
Right.
And everybody wear togas. Like, who the hell makes togas? Like, how in the hell do I get 50 togas? Yeah. Like, who do you rent an elephant from? Like
all the logistics.
All the logistics of just crazy shit you want to do is great, you know?
I once used Jamie Dundee for an event. And he took 20 years off my life. It's fucking crazy. But at the same time, my main interest was I wanted to sit down. I sat down in the hotel with him, and I wanted to talk. Just like the Memphis shows they used to do. Like they had to draw every week and Monday. Mm-hmm.
You're talking arenas.
Shows. Yeah, right. And like they had to draw every week. Like if they didn't draw, like have some hot angle every week to keep things going, they weren't going to draw. And they had to live week by week. And it's cool to pick the brain of somebody that had been around a while. Crazy as he is, you have to kind of get through all
but
that.
there is knowledge there,
right? Yeah, there was definitely knowledge there, and that was the most interesting thing. I like to pick brains of guys that have been around a while and live. I mean, the wrestling business is different nowadays in many ways.
Oh, it is.
But he would tell me about things like every 6 months the booking would go from Jerry Jarrett to Jerry, what do I want to say?
Brain fart.
Jerry Lawler.
Jerry Lawler.
For some reason, I couldn't think of that.
It's a lot of Jerry's.
Yeah, right. But they would keep it fresh by having every 6 months they would have their new angles and all that, and sometimes the repeated angles they knew that would be reliable, like a hair match or something, because the fans know something would be lost.
Yeah.
Somebody would lose their hair. There'd be some obvious end game like that. So. But basically promotion, we've done our entire lives promoting something.
Yeah,
It all starts with music, really.
Yeah,
it's definitely a tie-in.
Yeah, it definitely, you have to get, nowadays there is the internet and there is easier, there's not just the internet and Facebook and stuff, but there is easier access to advertisement and ways to get your name out there. But you still have to, that's half of it. The other half is you still have to get out there and put handbills out, flyers out, and it's not just handbills and store windows. You have to go to places where your audience may be, to try to do that. In some ways,
you're kind of like a carnival barker. You're kind of drawing attention.
Yeah,
you can to
you're a salesman. This you're a car. Not say a car salesman, but like
in a way
you are. You're like, this is the best damn car you're gonna get for your money.
Yeah.
Hey, across the street's another car.
Yeah.
But this one's less miles. Like, it's not gonna shit on you. Like,
you have to create a little noise so they don't go across the street.
Yeah, and like that's that's what I find interesting is inner workings.
Definitely me too. What always is going to make people come out.
Mm-hmm. Hell, I am a subscriber to the network, especially with the ankle. I need something to watch and
lots of downtime.
Lots of downtime. My favorite show on there is Legends of Wrestling. When they have the round, and I'm so pissed that they don't still do it, because I'm like, how much does it cost you to get 5 of these guys to sit on a damn table, smoke cigars, drink coffee and shit, and talk about the old days?
Their programming, that has to be the cheapest programming they can make.
Put a damn mic backstage at the catering table. You know, like, I love that show because just the crazy ass stories you hear, and like,
it's kind of frustrating when some people like kind of have the opinion that you can't learn from watching kind of things like that, like shoot interviews and stuff like that, because you learn how the business used to be. Yeah. Like I said, with talking with Jamie Dundee, you learn what they did back then and what worked. And some of it still applies. It is a new age where things are different. But do you know what I mean? Where people say you can't learn by watching. Some people say you can't even learn by watching a match. You have to be in there and do it. And to an extent, that's true.
There's psychology, though, you can learn from it. I mean, you're not going to learn how to do an armbar perfectly by watching it on YouTube over and over. But listening to a vet give a shoot interview about how this promoter did this, and it drew 10,000 people, and this promoter did this, and there was 4 people there.
Yeah. You even watch the bad wrestling and see, well, what did they do wrong? Yeah. What didn't work?
I mean, we're lucky that we can see these shoot interviews with some of these vets, or get where they're at, because it's impossible. At least you have a damn time machine to go sit in a corner every venue where these guys worked, and you know, you have to like.
And that's growing up, like I was dying to know more about how wrestling worked. I mean, you know, you kind of had the feeling, you know, you guys were working together to make things happen, but you never quite knew back in those days. Yeah, and like magazines was all you had.
If I wanted a guy A to wrestle guy C, how in the hell do I even get them? How do I get a hold of these guys? Right. How do I not look like a freak, like scary guy, like fucking they're like, this is a stalker, like this guy want to like do crazy shit or what? No, I just want to pay you money to come to my city and wrestle. I'm not trying to be harmful.
I find appearing scary kind of works in my favor a lot of times, because a lot of people, you kind of create an interest and they want to know like what you're about. Yeah. So I mean, you know, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, it definitely works. One of my favorite things is about booking people, and this was always a good thing with bands, was, you know, you do Facebook or you do phone and stuff. My brother and I are twins, and we sound pretty much exactly the same on a phone, and you can mistake us unless you're a friend of ours, and then once you're a friend of ours, there's no usual, like, there's no mistaking, you know?
There are 2 distinct personalities between the two of you. Once you know the two of you.
But I loved when wrestlers would come out, and there's one we've hired now who's a vet of the business, and I don't know if I want to give his name away, but I'm pretty sure he thinks we're the same person, because he's never seen us together, and he's only talked to us separately on the phone, and seen like one of us in front of a curtain, another one. So we're identical twins. And we sound. So I'm pretty sure this bands it's happened before, but we deal with this one individual. I'm pretty sure he thinks we're the same damn person, which I love. I'm like, fuck it.
It's fine, you know.
Yeah, anything when he finds out it's 2 people, anything he doesn't like, that other bastard did it. It wasn't me.
His mind may be blown.
It was my evil twin, honestly.
When he discovers you're 2 separate halves, his mind may be blown.
So, but I love dealing with people on the phone, and they'll deal with my brother and I, but they don't realize it's 2 people. And so Punks and Pinfalls will be like just indie music, indie wrestling. You know, I'm gonna try to hit some. Like we have a working relationship with CZW, so I will. It's easier for me to keep up with what they do and stuff like that. So I want to keep up with their storylines and stuff. Formerly D1W in Louisville. What is their name now?
I'm not even sure.
I can't remember. I apologize. I will by next show. I will have it written down. I do not have it in my side notes.
I didn't even know they changed their name. Actually,
yeah, it was something weird. Like they had to change their name, and I cannot for life of me. But we have, you know, I've worked with them and stuff, and I'll keep you up to date with what they're doing and stuff. But the show will be, you know, biased towards Rockstar because I obviously own the damn company, so a lot of people own it. Yeah. So, but anything, we'll be hopefully having 1 to 2 new shows a week. Hopefully, Gary, I love you, but I won't have 2 separate shows than you.
We will be back with our respective partners,
whether they like it or not. They're coming.
We'll sit them down and force them to podcast if we need to.
Yeah. So if they sound timid the next time on the podcast, just, there may be some things being done to them.
Right. So reach out to us. Let us know who you think might be a good guest on either of these respective shows.
Yeah. Or if you'd like to be a guest, you can contact us at the Rockstar Pro Wrestling Facebook. Also, rockstarprowrestling.com. Or for all the wrestling info, you go to Rockstar Pro Wrestling. We have updates of our weekly show Amped and our pay-per-views coming up. And if you go to rockstarproarena.com, it has all of our concerts and stuff and other events we have at the venue other than wrestling. And, of course, we're on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook is just Rockstar Pro Wrestling. Send us a message. Let us know what kind of shows you want, what kind of guests. If you know a roster member of Rockstar Pro Wrestling, you go, I really want them to have a podcast.
Right.
If you're like, I want a Beef Hammer Hour.
Right.
Like, drop us a line on Facebook.
He would have something interesting to say.
Yeah.
He's out of his fucking mind. Like most wrestlers are, which,
Well, they're not out of their mind. They're just a different dimension.
Definitely.
So it makes sense if you're like...
In pro wrestling, we all think a little differently than anyone in the normal world.
It's the artist's mind, is what I would say. No, I've never met a sane, really good painter. If you're a really good painter or musician, you can seem normal, but there's something. You do something weird as shit or something.
I mean, sometimes I think I'm the only sane person around, but maybe I'm wrong.
when you and Gigi are the voice of reason, sometimes I'm like, wow, we've gotten to this point that it's Gigi and Scary Gary won't let us do this. They're like, whoa, guys, think about this.
Hold up.
So
let's pause.
Let's see, a little self-promotion here. Friday, February 6th will be our 3-year anniversary at Rockstar Pro. We'll be filming...
3 years.
Yeah,
wow.
3 years. It's...
unfucking believable.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's been 3 years. And good thing we name it a number so we can always remember how long we've been doing this shit. So...
I mean, I had my feelings that 2012 may be the end of the world.
You were completely wrong.
According to Terrence McKenna's Time Wave Zero theory, which we'll get into on Real Alien Talk later on.
Oh, shit.
I never believed it would be the end of the world. It would be a shift in consciousness.
Well, maybe it's as we know it.
It could be the end of the world as we knew it. As we knew it.
Knew it? Is it new?
Now we're in a different consciousness,
Damn it, Gary. You didn't even get my REM trying to fuck you through there, did you?
I never listened to REM.
God damn it, Gary. All right. Well, back to self-promotion.
Never a fan of REM.
Saturday, January 24th. Tear Out the Heart. From St. Louis, it's their CD release on Victory Records. They will be playing the Rockstar Pro Arena Saturday, January 24th with Juggernaut. Believe, which, damn it, they need to change their name to Believe.
No.
I don't. If they get sued by...
the name of the band is Juggernaut Believe?
No, just Juggernaut is one.
Band? Okay.
Then, damn, I almost said Believe. Their name is Believe. But damn it, if they got sued by Vince... That's already their name. I mean, shit,
I appreciate the Juggernaut name, being a fan of X-Men comics.
Everything seems pretty metal-ish.
There was also, just a side note, in the X-Men, there was a Juggernaut band. There was like an anti-mutant band.
Was the name actually Juggernaut?
Yeah. They used the name as Juggernaut from the character. But they were like an anti-mutant band, kind of like a skinhead band.
Oh, they were like humans?
Something like that, yeah. Well, no, they were mutants, but they were like on the bad side.
Oh, okay. They're bad mutants.
Bad mutants. There's good and there's bad, like people.
Of course.
Then
also we have on the same show.
Sounds like a hell of a show.
Sentence to Sickness, Two Punch Guns, and Mayfly. Doors are $6. Pre-sale is $10. And if you need pre-sale, I'm an idiot for not having all the information. But if you go to Rockstar Pro Arena, there is links, and also to our Facebook and also IK Promotions on Facebook. There you can find tickets for this show also.
Sweet. be there. I do believe we're out, man.
Yeah, we're out. Hopefully, I don't have to see you again for a little bit, and we'll have 2 separate shows. I mean, in a good way. We'll have 2 separate shows, but
all right.
All right, thanks.